Doing a Sunday morning walk from Ashby to, well, a circular walk actually through Lound, and then I don't know, I might either do 4 miles or a fucking car coming. Would you believe it? Nice, a lot of dust all up my nostrils. It's taken quite a lot to motivate myself to come out this morning, but I've done it. I'm here. When I got out of the car, I had a lovely interaction with a man and a gorgeous golden retriever that he was walking. The dog was very friendly. Anyway, I've digressed slightly. The walk, circular walk from Ashby to through Lound, and then back to Ashby. So, as I said, I don't know if I said or not, to be honest. Park at Ashby Village on Blocker Road. Little car park down there, which is free. And then walk along the track. And then there's a path off to the left just before you get to St Mary's Church. So I'm going to take the path off to the left. Visit St Mary's Church on the way back, on the sort of last stretch of my walk. So I've just turned off left, and there's St Mary's Church in the background there. Quite nice. This is all the Somerleyton estate. Sure, the Lord of the Manor is in the church, absolving himself of all his sins. Yeah, so like I intimated earlier, I wasn't really feeling this walk today. I was kind of like just feeling a bit out of sorts, probably feeling a little bit run down, so what better than to get yourself out for some fresh air? I'm going along with the premise that I have never been for a walk and regretted it, so kind of pushed myself to get out this morning, but I'm glad I did. Talking of the Lord of the Manor, as I was earlier, reminds me of a funny story. When I was living in Somerleyton, and I was walking down a little country lane called Market Lane, and suddenly I saw this horse bolting towards me. It's like, oh my God, get out of the way of him. So he passed. I couldn't have stopped him. I mean, I wouldn't have even tried. And then about 10 minutes later, Lord Somerleyton appeared, strolling up the road, like not a care in the world, you know, completely unbothered. And he said to me, "I don't suppose you've seen a horse, have you?" And I said, that was a really bad accent. I said, "Yeah, he's just ran past me." "Okay, thank you." Just carried on strolling, like no a sense of urgency, you know, kind of catch up with my horse just in case he gets to the main road and causes an accident, but no, not bothered at all. So this path leads to the Village Maid pub. And then when you get to the Village Maid, you turn right. So Village Maid is on the right hand side of you, and then about 100 metres or so up the road there's a little turning on the right called Earth Lane, and that's where you need to go next. So when you get to the top of Earth Lane, you take a path off to the left which takes you into something called, it's called Lound Meadows or something like that. I'll update you when I get to the sign. But yeah, don't take the path off to the right, because you'll end up going through farmland that you're not supposed to, and you'll get an angry farmer saying, "Get off my land," or words to those effect. It's quite nice in here actually. It's always really quiet in here. It's like a little area that's been designated as a nature area. It's a former like pit which was used to take building materials for buildings in the area, obviously many years ago. There's quite a few in this area. I've visited the other two before. The Somerleyton one isn't really accessible, but there's another one at Blunderston, which is it's got a really odd feeling. I've never liked the place. It just feels really eerie. I never feel like I'm supposed to be there, but this one's nice. I like this one. See, it's like a nice little, got a little picnic bench over there, and surrounded by trees. Here we go. Man-made pit was formed when sand and clay were dug out for local use. So I'm guessing that would have been kind of like pre-Victorian times. So when you get to Lound Heath, as it is called, you keep right, and then you go up a little set of stairs, and then just follow this path through the woods, which is lovely. I don't know if I can talk. This is going uphill a bit, this. Come on, get up, get up. And down there is the pit, full of wildlife, I've no doubt, which is good. So peaceful. Look in here, there's birds singing. So when you get to the end of this path, if you turn right, that then takes you back towards Ashby, and it's about 4 miles, that circular walk. But having said that, I didn't really feel this walk today. As always, now that I'm out, I am feeling it completely, and so I'm going to turn left, and I'm going to do a slightly longer walk, which leads me kind of, where does it go? Down a road called, oh god, can't even remember. Oh, Green Lane, and then towards sort of the Waddings Way, which is kind of at the back of Somerleyton, then into Somerleyton, and then back to Ashby that way. Slightly longer. I think it's about 6.5 miles. I think so. Still not too long. So when you exit the woods, as I have just done, you keep right, walk along the hedge, and then you'll come to a gap in the hedge, and you'll see in the distance on the right a barn over there, and there is a path that goes straight through this field. There should be, anyway. I've been here when it hasn't been maintained before. So it can be quite hard to figure out where you're supposed to go, because the hedge that's in the distance there's a gap in it which the path goes through. So if the path is not there, it's really hard to know exactly where that gap is. Oh, what's that? It's like a buzzard, is it? Probably can't see it at all. God, he's a big boy. Hang on. I think it's a buzzard. Yeah, God, it's gorgeous. Came here once and I was walking along. The path wasn't maintained, so I kind of felt my way across the field, hoping for the best. Got to where I knew the kind of gap should be, and it was closed off with barbed wire. So I was really annoyed because it meant I had to kind of double back on myself. So I went all victim elder and wrote to the council. And said that, reminded them of their duties to maintain pathways. Unfortunately, in my job, I'm always having to remind professionals of what their legal duties to people are, and sometimes it kind of seeps over into my personal life. It's only because I like things as they should be. Should be fair, justice. I'm a big fan of. Here we go. Not only is the gap there, but there's a nice new footpath sign as well. My work here is done. Look at that baby. So yeah, this comes out onto Green Lane. So when you get onto Green Lane, you turn right until you reach the B something or other, which is the road between Somerleyton and kind of Alton Broad area. Once you reach the B whatever it is, you've got a choice. You can either turn right onto the road, and then there's a little grass verge you can walk along, and it's not very far until you get to the entrance to Somerleyton Hall, and then kind of more or less opposite that there's a little turning that takes you towards a dairy farm. So that's one way, or you can do what I'm doing, which is take the footpath off to the left, which brings you round to a stile or a gate, I can't remember, it's one of the two, and then that's a safe place where you can cross the road. You can probably hear the traffic. Bloody hell. I mean, I get it, I get why they love motorbikes, but they're so freaking noisy, aren't they? Yeah, you follow this path around to the right just for a short while, it's not long at all, and then you get to, there we go, a gate which takes you across the B whatever it is, and then immediately opposite that you can see that there's a stile and a little gap. So I'm just going to put the phone away while I cross the road. You go off to the right there, that goes to the dairy farm. There's a little sign here that says private road, just ignore that. I'm actually going off just straight, as I said, today, and I'll carry on this path until I reach the next track that this joins, called Wadding's Way. I'll update when I get there. Oh, I might update before actually, because I have a favourite tree, so I might update when I get there. Turned the blooming video on too late. There was a hare in the track. He just stopped and looked at me before running off across the fields. Bring that back in. He was huge actually, probably one of the biggest hares I've ever seen. A few month ago or so, I don't know, maybe more, I went on a little weekend away to Walsingham, and I was walking along a track and there was a hare. I could see a hare up ahead, and he sat there and sat there and sat there. I thought, he's going to run in a minute, then here I get to him, and he just didn't. He didn't run at all. And then he turned and started running towards me, and it was just this moment of disconcerted disconcertedness, is that a word? I don't know. Yeah, disconcertedness, where I just thought, oh my God, am I going to be the first person ever savaged to death by a hare? But he ran towards me and then just diverted off at the last minute. There's a huge bird of prey over there. I think it's a red kite. It's rubbish, this blooming phone camera. This is my favourite tree. He's barely got any leaves on him. But he's been my favourite tree for a very long time. I don't know why I chose this tree, just a feeling. And this tree is, I don't know, it looks like, you know, it's not very well. It's not many leaves on it, but I feel like each year I come, I say, oh, he's obviously dying, but he tries every year, like every year there's some leaves on, you know, it's like he doesn't give up. So I come and say hello. I haven't been for a while here actually. I haven't been probably since autumn of last year. God, there's loads of birds of prey up there now. And there's like a whole group of them, whatever the collective noun is for a shitload of birds. I don't know. Let's go and say hello to Trevor the tree. Let's give Trevor a hug. You're doing all right, mate. You're doing all right. Right, I'm just going to turn the vid off and just have a little chill here for a moment. Once you reach Trevor the tree and you've given him the obligatory hug and said hello, you'll get to a gate which you turn right onto Wadding's Way. Wadding's Way is a strange place for me. I was walking along here one day and I saw a person up in the distance, and then they walked to the right towards the hedge and then just disappeared. I didn't see them again. There's no way they could have got through the hedge. There was barbed wire, thick hedge, definitely didn't go straight. And so kind of when I arrived at that area, I was kind of a bit scared, like, oh my gosh, where's that person go? They're crouching in the hedge or something, but they were just nowhere. Very, very weird. There's a gravestone here, a memorial stone, because the person I saw certainly wasn't wearing any kind of military wear. But I don't know what clothes spirits would show up in if you saw them. But yeah, this was two American airmen that their plane crashed around here. I don't know if was it Second World War. The stone is really fading now. You can't really see it very well. You used to be able to see their names really clearly, but now you can't see the names hardly at all, actually, which is a shame. I think you maybe should, I don't know, I'll when I get home I'll have a look, see if I can find their names, and I'll put them on the video. But yeah, it's strange. I never feel anything bad, you know, it's not like I feel a bad vibe around here, but there's definitely a vibe, kind of like a presence. Thought I'd point out this absolutely spectacular oak tree here. It's obviously an old one. It's massive. It stretches all the way across the path. Can't really sense the size of it really on this phone. It's a big one. And yes, it's free. Nobody is here. So this is where I'm going to sit and have my lunch. Over that way is the River Waveney. I don't know if you can see it in the distance. Just sitting here, I've eaten my sandwich. Look at that lovely gorse bush. It's going to go over. Gauze smells like vanilla and coconut mixed together when it's in bloom. It's really nice. I wish I could bottle that fragrance actually. Anyway, I will update when I get to the next junction on the path at the end of Waddings Way. This little hill doesn't look particularly steep, and it isn't really, but when I was living in Somerleyton, I used to like to ride my little off-road bike up here, and then on the way back I would challenge myself to go down this hill without braking, just leaving it later and later and later until eventually I could do it without braking at all. And I'm sure by professional standards I wasn't going very fast at all really, but it felt blooming fast to me. And so I think you've got to take some risks in life, haven't you? Otherwise it's just boring. So when you get here, if you turn right, that takes you to the dairy farm that I mentioned earlier. So it's the end of that other alternative track. But if you turn left, that takes you towards Somerleyton. So when you get to this bit, this is where we come from. Just keep going straight up the little hill, which takes you to the village. If you turn left down there, that's the gate at the bottom where the rail tracks are. So when I reach the village, I'm probably not going to film. I'm going to just try and sneak through. Because I used to live here, obviously I'm going to see people that I might know. And I sound awfully antisocial, don't I? I'm not, honestly, but I just don't know. Just want a bit of non-people time today. I have a lot of peopling to do during my day-to-day life, so sometimes it's nice to just escape. So I'll turn the phone off and see if I can sneak through. I managed it. I didn't see anyone apart from a couple of people that I didn't know, and somebody in the car that bibbed at me who've got no idea who it was, but I didn't see anybody. So I'm now on Market Lane, which leads towards where I'm parked, towards Ashby, but I'm going to divert off down the track to Ashby Church, rather than you can walk the whole of the road the way back, or you can turn off right. I think there's a couple of points you can turn off right to get to Ashby Church. So I'm coming in to the coach entrance of Somerleyton Hall, which I like actually because it's a nice tree-lined little road. And then at some point you'll come to a little track on the left that you need to take to get to Ashby Church. Obviously that is providing I don't get shot for trespassing on the way. Just seen 3 lots of people, one after the other, after barely seeing anybody. And the first lot I said hello to, and then the second lot I said hiya to, and then the third lot, my brain obviously subconsciously was like, well, what are you going to say to this lot? And so I said hi-lo. Hi-lo. What the hell is that? And here we are on the last leg of the journey at St Mary's Church in Ashby, my favourite bench, which I shall sit on when I've had a little wander around. I love this place. It's just, I don't know, something about it. A mixture of gravestones, some quite old, some newer. One there, 2009. See, these ones are really old. These ones, I can't even see the writing on them anymore. Some mallets, as my guitar teacher Kevin. They're his ancestors, I believe. And here's the lovely church. And then over here, you can't really see it very well at the moment because it's the grass is generally a little bit overgrown. But there is a what would you call it? Not a vortex, spirally thing. We'll have to call it that. The word won't come to me. But there's lots of lovely bluebells, and the daffodils are on their last legs by the looks of it. But it's gorgeous, really lovely little wild area. Little plaque on the side of the church. Can't really see it, but it's like looks like a sort of sundial thing. And it says on it, aim higher than the mark. Yep, I agree with that, definitely. That's so pretty, isn't it? Look at it. Anyway, I'm going to plonk my bum on this bench and just stare into the void for a little while. Right, so after a little sit on the bench, which was very enjoyable, very peaceful, underneath that beautiful tree, I'm now going to walk back along the same track, the original track that I came along from Ashby, and that'll be the end of the walk. So at the moment I'm at 11.5 kilometres, so by the time I get back there it'll be about just over 12, so yeah, about 7 miles, but really nice, definitely recommend it.